Hi guys, welcome back to the channel and thanks for tuning in again. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. I hope you're all having a beautiful day. Now today we're gonna look how to maximize the usage of a chicken. What I mean by that is that if we make a stew, for instance, or a casserole in French cooking, there's really two things that are important to know. We need to know how to debone a chicken. So basically we take the whole chicken, we're going to detail each pieces, and then using the carcass and the bones, you need also to know how to make a fresh stock using these bones. And it is very easy to make, and it will absolutely improve the taste of your sauces, and it is vital to French cooking. So let's do this. Alright, so I went to my butcher and I got this. A whole chicken. It's a bit intimidating when you look at it. You can cook it, of course, whole. You can poach it, you can roast it, you can put it in a barbecue. But if you want to cut pieces, where do you start? So basically, I've looked at my culinary school book and we're going to do a rough guide. I'm not an expert on this, on how to cut this into 4 pieces. So as you can see here, as a rough guide, you got the drumstick, there's the chicken thighs, but that's the whole leg, the wings, and the chicken breast, and the same on the side. So we're just going to do a simple exercise to cut this into 4 pieces. The 2 legs and the 2 chicken breasts. Alright, so in the book, it says that when you start with the wings, always use with, this little bit of skin. And we need to find here the joint, as you can see. This is where you can cut because it's very easy, at the intersection. And remove this little part. So I'm going to put this, I've got a tray on the side, you don't see in the camera, but I'm not putting this in the bin. And basically you get that little thing on here. Okay, so you can repeat the same on the other side. Now for the leg, this is how it looks like. You have to take what's easy. You see this skin over here? So basically what it says is that you need to stretch that skin. You need a sharp knife. And when you're here, it's just a matter of following the skin and try to detach. I don't know if you can see here. You try to detach the flesh, and as I'm moving, again, as you can see here, the joint is popping up. It's popping out over here. You can see? And that makes it very easy. So I'm not using any kind of brute force to cut that piece, you see? And there you have it. You got your chicken leg. So if you have a big chicken, it's usually the thing you can do is to divide that part into 2 sections where you have the chicken thighs on one side and then the drumstick. But that is really if you use like a big chicken. And this exercise, we're just going to keep this. So I'm going to put this again on the tray. Now, back now to the chicken breast. For the chicken breast, basically there's a bone in the middle of the chicken on the back that you need to try to find. So aim for the middle, make an incision with your knife, cut the skin, and very gently you try to find, where that bone is. So as you can see here, I can see the bone over here. I don't know if you can see in the camera. So that in the middle here is the middle bone. So for the chicken breast, you're gonna basically follow very gently. You try to slide with your knife along the bone as much as you can and detach little bit by little bit. You're gonna go around and detach the flesh a little bit here, a little bit there, and then you finish to cut up. Sorry. And roughly, I'm not doing a great job here, but roughly speaking, you've got a chicken breast. So all in all, I'm just doing half of the chicken, but this is what you get. You get the wing, you get a chicken breast, and you got a chicken leg. And now for the carcass. So when you're done and you remove all the chicken breast and the legs, you're left with this, the carcass. So instead of throwing this away, you can always trim little pieces of flesh on the side. There's a solides, which is like a nice piece of flesh over here that you can remove if you want to. But away from that, it's mostly bones. So let me show you very quickly. So we're going to try to use a bit of everything, so I'll show you. So the first thing when you go to your carcass, very important, that bit here, which is the bottom buttocks of the chicken, you can usually cut the end bit because there's a gland that can be bitter when you cook. So, or you can put the end, or if you want, you could cut it all together and reserve it so you don't have any surprises. The way usually you start cutting is you see that loose skin, you'll go through that. And when you're at home, I strongly recommend you try to use some of those because that simple, look at that, I can cut through everything. So you see? So the whole game is basically detailing as much as you can from this bone and chop them into smaller pieces. Now, if it's soft like this, you can use your scissors. Otherwise, of course, you're gonna have to use some stronger knife and really try to, you know, chop through and cut things into pieces. So I will cut this in two, this in two, and this in 2 or 3 pieces to prepare for my stock. And now for the chicken stock. Now today I'm going to share with you my little recipe of what I call a supercharged, easy to make chicken stock. Because if you ever made stock, you will find that making the stock with water and just the bones takes really long, and to get the taste out of it is actually quite a bit of a challenge. Now let's see how to make it. Now the process of making the stock is absolutely easy. Stock pot, you know, clean pan, and you just add straight off your cold water and your cold stock. Okay, very simple. From here you're gonna put all of your bones. I repeat, they have to be washed very well. Okay, put them, I'm gonna put my heat on high, and I'm just gonna wait until that mix starts to boil. When you reach the boil, it's now time to just put all of your garnish in there. So we're gonna put our lovely onion, a little bouquet garni on here, and all of my mix of vegetable. And make sure everything is kind of under the water, so to speak. Okay? And that's it. From here, I'm gonna put a lid on this and I'm gonna let it simmer for 30 minutes. 30 minutes have passed and my stock is technically ready. What I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna remove gently all of the bones one by one. Alright. And when I'm done, I'm gonna filter the whole through a sieve and put that stock into a clean container. And that's it, guys, the white chicken stock is ready. The last thing I wanted to mention, do not press down the garnish like that, you know, let it drain and then you discard it. When it's here, you can just try your stock. It's very clean, this fresh vegetable taste and that hint of chicken in the background is absolutely gorgeous. Personally, I'm gonna use that same stock next week on our next recipe, which is the poulet Vallée d'Auge, which is a Normandy specialty. It's a chicken casserole with apple brandy, and I'm going to transform that stock into a white sauce in which I'm going to add some cider, some mushrooms, some creams, caramelized apples and onion. Is going to be beautiful. So make sure you tune in next week for that beautiful recipe, and I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.